I had a YouTube show for 2 years that was specializing in basketball. So I formed a relationship with the NBA through the show, and they were really enjoying what I was doing. I never thought that I would be hosting a YouTube channel because I'm quite a shy person, and I didn't think I would end up in a position like this. And I got a phone call from the NBA one day, and they said, "Rush, we've got an exciting opportunity for you. Would you be interested in hosting the official NBA Australia show?" And I was like, "Oh my God, this is a dream come true." I've grown up obsessed with basketball. I can't even believe I'm talking to the NBA, and working with them on these projects. Now the fact that they're asking me to host the official NBA Australia show, I can't believe it. I called my mum. I was like, "Mum, guess what? The 14-year-old me would just be jumping for joy." So it was an incredible opportunity. They were like, "Look, we'll fly to America, various times, and interview a lot of the your dream players, and when there's All-Star weekend, we'll get you over. Maybe the NBA Finals, we'll get you to come over as well." I'm just like, "Oh my God, wow, this is incredible." And to give it some context too, this is coming after a rough period from COVID. I missed out on 18 months of work. Then just as things were starting to pick up again, boom, cost of living kicks in. So as I was getting this phone call, things had been extremely quiet for a good 6 months. So I was like, "Oh my God, okay, I can pay the rent again, So we did the first episode. It was a hit. Everything went really well. The NBA was happy. And the day after the episode, I just couldn't sleep. I woke up in the morning, my gut was just screaming. And what was going through my head was, "Rush, what are you doing? You're not a host. You're a filmmaker. You're a photographer. Is this what you really want to do? Because if you sign up to this and you continue to do this, you're gonna start being deemed as Rush the host, not Rush the filmmaker and photographer. What you've been doing for the last 15 years." So, I called my mum and spoke to my creative director that works full time with me, and I was like, I honestly couldn't believe I was even having this conversation with both of them. And I mean, this is why it's so important to have people around you that give you honest feedback and are just real with you. There's no nonsense. And they just said, "Look, we know that you're a passionate person, and you've just got to listen to your gut. If this is how you feel, you've just got to stick to your guns." So, I called the guy at the NBA, who's a absolutely lovely fellow. He's given me a lot of opportunities, and yeah, it was probably one of the hardest conversations for me to have, to muster up that courage to tell the NBA, I don't want to be the host of this show, because they've also found it extremely difficult to find the right kind of fit for the show. So I know for them asking me, that was a big deal. And I'm someone that usually I'm always saying yes to opportunities. And one thing I've really learned in the last 6 to 12 months, particularly after this moment, is you don't have to say yes to everything. It's important to say no, but particularly if your gut is telling you it's not the right thing. And so, I told them no. And what was incredible after this moment, it just gave me tunnel vision, and I just knew exactly where I had to go and what I had to do. And honestly, it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because everything has been so clear since that moment. And honestly, I've had probably the most successful 6 months of my career since that moment. Things just started coming together, and it's just, without getting super spiritual with it all, but I'm a huge believer in the universe, and it points you in the right direction, and it tests you at times. It presents you with things and kind of says, "Hey, Rush, are you going to take this? Are you going to go this path? Or are you going to go this path? Where are you going to take it?" And yeah, thankfully I took the right path, but I'm also extremely grateful for that opportunity. And it feels crazy to say that I didn't take it, but they were just grateful that I was honest with them as well, and they totally understood. Like, oh, look, because they hired me in the beginning as a filmmaker, so they knew initially that that's what I was. But the power of saying no, it takes a lot of guts, and it takes I think also a lot of maturity and self-belief. But if you find yourself in that position, just listen to your gut.